Hello, friends. Thank you for your patience, but the time is now. The Filip Leu episode is happening. Here we go. I wanted to say a few words on a personal level about Filip. 20 years ago, I'm a young tattooer. I don't really understand this large format stuff. To me, tattoos are still things you pick off a wall, the size of a fist, the size of a football, if you're lucky. And I come across this article where Filip is doing these bodysuits, massive compositions that go from a dragon from a guy's shoulder that wraps around his body all the way to his ankle. And I just was like, oh my God, this is the ultimate edge of tattooing. This is as far as someone can take this art form. How beautiful, how creative, how exotic. So it changed my career. I wasn't able to switch my whole game that next day, but for the next, I've been going 33 years now. I've been striving towards that goal, ways to compose pieces that really decorate the human form in a large format type of a way. And he was a massive inspiration for me in that way. And is a huge hero of mine, as I know he is to a lot of you as well. So I just want to throw that in there and let you know this particular episode means a whole lot to me. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, with that being said, one more thing, I want to talk about the Tattoo Heritage Project. It was founded by Good Time Charlie. They're focused on protecting and preserving and archiving American tattoo history. If this is important to you, check out tattooheritageproject.org. They do all kinds of cool stuff over there. They've got a traveling tattoo museum. They just debuted Felix's Dare to Dream, amazing film. Check it out. They are a nonprofit. So if you get over there and you like what you see, maybe even make a donation. It helps get more of this stuff out there for the world to see. And it also helps protect tattoo history, which I find really important in this era of so much change. And if you do too, make a donation. So with all that being said, here we go. Filip Leu.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chats and Tatts. Wow, I've got a really special moment about to occur, kind of a historical, I don't even know what to call this right now, but I've had a few heroes in this industry, but one stands out more than any of them for sure. And I'm going to sit with him today, and I'm just so honored and stoked about this. So please tune in, listen up, because I'm going to have a fun conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Filip Leu.
Thank you. Shit's about to go down. I'm feeling something in my spirit.
Chats and Tatts with Aaron, Della, Vedova.
How many years have you been tattooing at this point?
43rd.
43rd year.
Yeah, I dicked around with it a bit before that, but I was just a bit too young. 14, 15 people started trusting me and started going, had my chair and worked all the time.
How much do you work? What's your workload like right now at 43 years?
Well, finally, just before lockdown in 2020, I'd finally pushed it to breaking point where I was doing massive sessions, like too often, big work, and got arthritis and tinnitus and had to take a half year off. So now I wheedled my way back from 2 hours of tattooing a day to maybe 4 tops. Standing up and doing charcoals at arm's length was the way for me to break away from being rigid and cramped, right? To try and teach a more flowy kind of construction, forget about the details and get the shapes down.
Stand back
and look, and it was helped me enormously in my body drawing, like drawing tattoos on. Because I did, I'm coming up to a couple of hundred of my Doomin sets every now and then, but it really helped me. It was something to come out of art school because my parents had done art school. I didn't have art school, but I had them.
Well, in a way, you had art school through them.
Yeah. But that was the concept of that when you start, you draw with your fingers, like if you're writing or something.
Yeah, I like that.
And it moves up, the more relaxed you get, and you're not working with the whole body.
Then it goes to your shoulder. Then maybe it ends up in your heart one day, or your soul, Or
your back. It's like a back pain.
How many days a week?
I'd be happy to do 4.
Okay.
That'd be comfortable, give me enough time to prep and clean. And I work on my own, just me and Beat. We each take care of ourselves. Teaching helps me. But I'm pretty much, I'm not in a big shop with a lot of people, and I don't have a lot of
I've heard.
I like saying I'm my own secretary, which is true, and I want to fire myself about 3 times a week because I don't do a very good job of it. Keep talking to myself, sit myself down, have a little talk. It's like, look,
Do you handle all the business in your life, or do you have someone that helps you?
No, my mother, Loretta, does emails coming in.
Okay.
Concentrates a lot more on art projects and shows and books and stuff like that. She's made the film, which is showing here. That was all her. Mm-hmm. Titi is the logistics and the brains. She's the accountant and the one that makes sure everything works, knows where everything is. And I'm the guy sitting in the middle doing it.
Right, I would expect you to have some help to be able to manage.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without my family behind me, absolutely.
I'm the same, my wife and these guys, and I need help to manage all these things.
Say, do you want to talk to the man in the charge or the woman that knows what's going on?
I say that a lot too. Well, that's that's impressive. I'm at 33 years. I have existential crisis sometimes. I'm like, am I going to be able to? And when, I talked to a guy like you, and I sat with Henning yesterday, and
he's got more time than me under his belt.
46 years, he says. Yeah,
he's fucking
working 5 days a week.
Yeah, he works way more than me.
It gave me hope. I'm like, okay, this can be done. I can tattoo for many more years.
But you can also say, what kind of work do you want to do? I stand most of the time when I work. 90% of it, I'm on my feet.
Got a table that just comes up.
Yeah, but I like big, bold, fast-moving work. In 2 to 4 hours, I can do a lot because I've thrown the detail out the window. Just not interested. I've been doing it long enough to know that you can break your back desperately trying to make something perfect, and then the skin goes, and all your work's for naught. But you cannot beat skin and aging, so it doesn't matter how careful you are or how small your needle is or how delicate you go or how special your colors seem to be, or you can reinvent this shit from now to forever, and then the skin's going to go and just let you down. So that really has become so apparent to me, so I try and work for it. Cliches are tied old truths, right? Bold will hold and all the rest of it. It's really true. Yeah. And I remember all the things I was told along the way. Bob Roberts said to me when I first met him when I was like 17, his advice was, your tattoo should look good when the lines are done. It should look done when the black and gray is in. And color's extra because it ain't sticking around,
Yeah, that's
these concepts like, or Paul Rogers, he'd said to me, testing me because I was young and they all liked to play with me, and he's like, what's the color that heals the fastest? And I didn't get it right because the answer is skin.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I worked my way around the whole thing, and he's like, nope,
I say it differently. I always say to the young tattooer, what's your brightest color in your palette? And they look at their whites, and I go, skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the good use of skin. Beat is somebody you spoke to, I heard yesterday, and he's very good at that negative space. So, when you look at a sleeve, how much of it's solid black, how much gray, how much is color, and how much is emptiness that lets it breathe, makes it readable, and speeds up the whole process because there's a whole chunk you don't have to tattoo.
Right. And it looks great.
Yeah.
And I've always heard it like thirds, third skin, third black, third, if you're using color, break it into 3, but...
If you look at traditional Japanese work, there is so much more black in it than a lot of Westerners use when they do Japanese. They tend to put more gray and get into all the soft tones and stuff. But Japanese got a good amount of black in it, which really makes it...
Yeah, not wash, but fucking black.
Solid, straight up black,
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Well, your body's okay, though? I mean, I know you tattoo at this rate, but your back's good?
Great.
Everything's working?
I've had all the problems over the years, from carpal tunnel to tennis elbow to, broken bird wing shoulder. Now it's just my ankles hurt because I'm getting a bit fat, so it's hard to start. You can't win. So if it's not one thing, it's another. But like I say, I stand a lot, and that's helped me because I don't move my frame. Yeah. I don't twist my spine to try and get into that hard spot.
Move them, not you.
No, I just swivel my hips. I kind of lock the top part, and I just sidestep and move around people like this, and so the top stays relatively steady. And it really, really helped. Remember to drop your shoulders. That's a real big one. Because you could actually see through body, like it manifests how we feel, and we go, because tattooing is stressful, you're hurting somebody, you're worried, you're fucking up, am I going to get it, is the line going to be okay, and all these things that never go away. Yeah. And then we cramp up and fuck ourselves up, really. If you can remember to drop your shoulders, it really goes a long way to not fucking up your...
Thinking about it right now. Relax.
This episode is brought to you by Bishop. I have been using their machines and cartridges and grips and many other products they make for well over a decade, and I have to say it's just some of the most high quality stuff I've ever laid my hands on. It makes my workday so much easier to have that stuff work seamlessly so I can do the best tattoo possible. There is so much out there nowadays, and it's a sea of things to try to sort through to figure out what's good and what isn't. And I really don't know all the best stuff, but I do know this stuff. It's fantastic. So if you're interested for some new equipment or trying a new type of equipment or a new machine, please head over to bishoptattoosupply.com. And a special thank you to Franco Vescovi, great friend of mine, and all the boys and girls over at Bishop for all the love and support they've given me and Guru over the years. Thank you so much. And now, back to the show.
Back to that point, though, of your ability to tattoo all these years, Henning's ability to tattoo all these years, it's the style of work. This big color realism thing that's so amazing to look at and to see. And I tell these guys, they come work at my shop, and I say, how are you going to do that? Are you going to be able to do that in 30 years? Are you going to be able to...
Concentration levels.
Oh my, because I think the answer is simple. No, you are not going to be able to do that. I mean, maybe someone can do that for 40 years.
We're in a huge transitional period. I never thought that the art, because when I started out, when Felix started out, and then when I joined, there was a lot of competent tattooers around, and a lot of shitty artists, to be truthful. There weren't that many that you used to go through a tattoo mag looking for that wonderful piece. Mm-hmm. Now you go through a mag and you're almost doing the opposite, look for something to laugh at because it's all so brilliant, Mm-hmm. On the art side, they are literally oil paintings on skin. Mm-hmm. This keeps blowing my mind. I'm like, how the fuck did they even pull that off, right?
I don't know.
But it has no longevity, really.
That's my next question. I wondered your feelings around that.
No, it can't, because you're working on blotting paper. You're working on something that will pass out in time and spread. And the other thing is, not all colors fade at the same speed.
Mm-hmm. True.
Right? So if you're making a mixture that's based on like a rule of thumb of painting, where painters mix a bit of this and a bit of that, just a dab of this to get the right tone, that's a very unstable color. Because if you've got 5 different tones in there and 2 of them drop out before the others, you're left with the 3 that were, Yeah. So these things will change to the eye. They will change their intensity, their color tones.
I agree.
So it's a tricky thing to do that. That's why I'd rather not have more than 12 colors, at the most.
Right.
Maybe 9. The lead less, the better, right? Keep it super basic.
Tattooing seems to me at this phase as this process of elimination almost. It's like we're spending our whole careers figuring out what we didn't need to do.
Well, that's the loss of the apprenticeship. The apprenticeship was more about what not to do in many ways. Don't try that. We've tried that. That don't work. It might look like it works, but trust us, we've tried it. It don't work, so avoid that, right? Because you need time to be able to see whether this stuff works or not.
Yeah, you need years to see it come back.
See it come back.
And look at that thing from 10 years ago. Go, what the fuck was I doing? Why?
No, Horiyoshi said to me, I met him when I was a kid too, and he said 6 years it takes. If you see a guy do a tattoo, you need to wait 6 years before you can tell whether he knows his stuff or not.
6 is probably the minimum.
Minimum, yeah. For the lines to either fall out or spread too much, for the shading to separate, or for the colors to be no good. So, it is slightly problematic on that level. The other thing I was thinking about, it's a complex issue. It's the internet. The internet, right? Who's guiding the industry? Laymen. The world is on Instagram, for example, and it's fueled by likes and attention. A lot of people participating in promoting or not liking stuff know nothing about tattooing, don't even recognize an Oriental style or really understand what a wave looks like if you're doing it, or a cloud Japanese. So these observers will gravitate towards what they know and hit the like on, and everybody understands realism, so they're promoting it more because they can relate to
And
it.
it looks great on a phone.
Yeah, but they can actually relate to it. Sometimes they look at a Japanese design and like, what's that? Is that a wave or a cloud? You know, you get these questions.
Right.
And suddenly you realize, holy shit, just because I've been into it my whole life, my whole career, and I totally recognize a nice Japanese wave against a not nice, the guy doesn't even know it's a wave.
That's an interesting thought. I've never.
You need to be trained in this to really get off on it.
Yeah, so the public is steering where tattooing is going.
Now, the flip side is that if you start tattooing today and you want to be popular, you follow the trend. Yeah. So it's so hard for these newcomers who are tattooing that need to do hyper-realism. Mm. You cannot do a really good face unless you know how to draw a face. If you understand that's why judging, we look at these things that are gorgeous and then suddenly you realize one eye's up there and one's down there. There's these very basic mistakes happening in very high-end design and art. And so it's bad for them. It's harder for them today starting out and trying to step up to the bar, because the bar is way up there, you know what I mean? If they just start simple tattoos first, work their way through the butterflies, get little things, build it up, you know, understand skin and do the 5-year apprenticeship to get to. But there's not a golden rule. I have seen some guys that step out of art school who are like so proficient in painting, sketching, drawing, sculpting, digital, and then they just pick up a tattoo machine and flow right into it, and it's just another tool to do something that they're learning anyway. These guys get good results real quick.
Oh, like, I mean, 2-year tattooers.
A couple of years, and you're looking at it going, wow, man, that took me fucking 20, you know. So I admire that, I like that. But then going back to the internet, it's done that to everything on the planet. Movie making, music, you don't even have to know how to play an instrument or dance.
Homogenization, I think, is what the word is, where it makes everything similar, because it's everyone's seeing the thing that was yesterday, doing something similar to that. So the unique voices are getting quieter.
Well, because it's harder to really, you know, to break away from the group and follow your own. I like people who stand out. What's that old saying that if you make a mistake long enough, they call it a style?
I like that.
Well, if we all recognize each other by our little quirks, and I'm like, I know who did that. I know who did that. I know who did that. Because if we do realism, and we do it to perfection, we all look the same.
Yeah. Yeah, realism, it's art, but in some regard, is it? I mean, you're looking at a thing and recreating a thing. It's still art, but there's something different from that than drawing an idea that... the idea for art for me was always bringing something novel into the world.
Did you see the girl's suit that was just marble yesterday?
No,
half her body was negative, half was positive, and the artist had used a little piece of like crazy Italian marble and just reproduced this all over her body.
Wow.
And I was looking at it, and you looked at the back, and I was like, does she have horse heads on the top of her back? And then I thought those like dogs, and then we got up close, and it was pure abstract. And I was taken back that I didn't have, until now, the fucking balls to do that to somebody's body, because it's so individual, so distinct, such a statement, artistically speaking. It was beautiful, but it was just weird little shapes and scraggly like lines, and it was the whole back and legs and arms. And
that kind of reminds me of something that I think is happening in this paradigm shift in tattooing, where this new thing of just it was always imagery. A skull, a snake. Everybody had to have a thing. And now we're in this world of like decorating bodies.
All black.
All black, a solid black, or a big line shading off to this, you know. Yeah. And at first when it started happening as an illustrator, I, of course, was kind of like, oh, that's not fucking art, you know. Well, you're just going to put a negative space from here to here with a little flowerette at the bottom. Get out of here. And now
it's here to stay.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's fucking beautiful. I love it.
The artistic courage it takes for, maybe it's because of the way I got into this, and I was always catering to the wishes and desires of the individual.
Me too.
Oh yeah, it's whose idea was it to get those two parallel lines in the flower? Usually, I think the artist is doing this. not the customer request.
Well, it's becoming popular now. Now people are
requesting it.
Yes, yeah, I'm seeing that. I just love this, that people are finally getting around this idea that a tattoo doesn't have to have meaning. Meaning in tattoo is great, but you can also just decorate your body, you know?
I'm totally with you there. I thought I had meaning to my early tattoos. I mean, the true meaning of my first tattoo was, you know, I was a little kid and I wanted to piss people off, and it was great. I found something that worked, you know. And then I had a few excuses, and then I realized I just like it. It's an interesting question. People come to you and they bring you this drawing and they're like, oh, God, you know. And you can ask them, did you wake up one day, see this drawing and just go, man, I have to have it? Or did you wake up one morning and say, I really want to get tattooed, now I got to find an image to represent something, and spend the last 3 months desperately trying to bring me something? And that's usually what they'll say.
That's usually the case.
Because the desire comes out of fucking left field and it has no face. It has no image. It's just this want. That's a weird part of tattooing. Why do people do it, right? All these years in it, to try and pin down what motivates people to want to be tattooed. It's beyond fashion. It's beyond trend.
So what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask.
It's a tricky one, right?
It is a tricky question. What are we doing? I mean, when I think about it,
doing?
what did I do? What am I doing to them? What are we doing? And for me, sometimes I arrive at like some level of insecurity or something. I'm like, I must have a hole in me I'm trying to fill. I mean, this is a totally unnecessary way to spend my time.
Okay, there's a difference between little tattoos, which are spur of the moment, or sometimes linked to, you know, a group, a moment, or doing a bodysuit, right, which is transformative, takes a long time. Hurts like horrendously and cost a fortune. It's a huge endeavor. I've come to one idea. It's we're here to mark change. They change, we make it permanent. That's our job. Some kind of paradigm shift in their psyche, their life. They reach a point where now I feel like I need to make it real. Whatever it is, it's so personal that we couldn't even know. Maybe they don't even know. But they have the feeling that it's time, they want to make something to mark the occasion.
Yes. And I think it's that, and also I think it's human nature to want to be heard and to express yourself. You know, I want the world to see me. I want them to understand I'm unique. I'm not just, I'm me, and I'm unique. You
must have these guys hit 50, well-placed jobs, will get a bodysuit that they don't show anybody but their wife and their doctor and me.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those. Yeah.
So it's deeper than, I know what you're talking about, but it's so...
It's not even for others.
Yeah, they've waited their whole life to actually finally take this leap. And it's a trick. It's a tricky question, and it's impossible to answer. It's almost, some parts might be very generic, but otherwise I think it really is tailored to each person. But yeah, the need to decorate, or the need to
express,
cut or pierce, or I don't know, you know, it's...
or drive a certain car, or wear a certain shirt. I mean, it's all a way for me to, or a person to say, look at me, I'm a unique individual. I'm not just a number, I'm different.
One little track that I was talking yesterday is, when I was younger, we knew every face in Europe. Maybe 5 or 8 of these guys. Facial tattoos.
Oh, I see.
They were very rare, they always existed. So on Instagram, somebody showed me extreme facial tattoos. You can scroll to infinity.
There's that.
It's like the fucking thing is out of the box. Yeah. And there's no putting it back. The quantity is just unbelievable of actually under 30s that are going. Some of them, I got to say, I actually think are beautiful. I'm minority, I'm picky, but I'm into cyberpunk, future sci-fi films, and some of these dudes are right there, you know, with the black eyes and everything, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a dinosaur when I'm like, oh, have you thought about your future, you know? Well, you know, I've become like this old guy, like, don't do that, you know, you might regret it. What am I talking about? Maybe they'll never regret it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, that used to be the most extreme thing you can do, and it still is, but it's...
Oh no, they've upped it by one. It's... that crowd, they are now the forefront. I met a nice woman in Paris, body mod girl that took her nose off.
Oh, that's what you meant by that.
Yeah.
Took her nose off.
Yeah, she's all black and got the black eyes, and she's removed the nose, cut it right clean off.
So there's just two holes
We're
there?
staring straight into the sinuses. We were at the after party together having a bit of a dance, and she's the first girl to do it in Europe. But I've found about 8 people online that have done this.
I hadn't heard of this.
The Black Alien Project, people who removed their ears, remove their noses, tattoo themselves all black, do loads of subdermal implants, and modify, split the middle lip, you know.
Right.
That's the forefront. If you really want to scare the shit out of people, having sleeves doesn't do it anymore. Just don't cut it. Then they went to tattooing their faces. Now that's been passed by this odd mod world, which is really frontline. And I was watching her float through the party, and you know, she got the desired effect that I had when I was 14, and I'd whip my tattoos out, and people go, "Holy shit!" Now she's in a room full of tattooed, heavily pierced fucking.
And she's freaking those people.
Freaking them out, right? So that's always moving forward, that part, because that's the other side of tattooing, the big fuck you. I want to I want to be
part of it. That's why I started doing it.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if your dad's tattooed and your mum's tattooed and your uncle's got good sleeves, what are you going to do? For a while there, they were coming home with those ignorant style tattoos.
What do you mean by that?
You know that there's this trend of really poorly executed, shaky lines, really crappy drawn, silly ideas that people are putting on themselves, and it's called ignorant style.
Okay.
And it seemed to be almost a rebellion to having beautiful sleeves.
Right.
I don't want beautiful sleeves anymore. I want this, it's shocking. Or a full black arm falls in the same category. I like tattooing, but I'm sick of all imagery, so I'm just going to get pure ink. So
hearing the nose and ear removal, that's fucking mind-blowing.
It's like the eyes, the ink.
That one was wild enough, but that's another level. But then it's like, then you ask yourself, because there will be something else more, it won't stop. What the hell?
Well,
what will be the next?
Where do we go from there?
Yeah, how?
You can get pointy ears now, you can get horns put into your head, you know. I'm waiting for a girl to show up with a third breast. I mean, these all things you was in what that Schwarzenegger film years and years ago, right? You know, where you saw one girl in the background with 3 titties, and it's this fantasy of a future that's now. It is now. Everything is now. It's happening now.
It is fucking wild, man.
What did Lyle Tuttle said a funny line? He said that tattooing is as ancient as time and as modern as tomorrow. Yeah. It's always been in this zone where we're always there.
Yeah, we've always
different aspects of it.
Yeah, the oldest mummy ever found covered in tattoos, I think, is what I read one day.
Yeah, 5,500, a guy in the Austrian Alps.
Yeah.
He had interesting tattoos. He had a lot of little, like, tiny tattoos on acupuncture points and nerve ending points and stuff. So they speculating it could be medical, because if you know you need to be rubbed, you just go, the black dot, go from the black dot, you know, and anybody can help you. You don't need a professional. So that was like it was a tattoo with a purpose. You know.
Yeah. I didn't know that part. I thought it was a bunch of tribal symbols or something.
No, that they actually turned out to be acupuncture and think that way if you do massage or you could help.
Fascinating. Yeah, this whole tattoo journey, it's so beautiful. It's filled up your life. It's filled up mine. We're so lucky to be here. We're thinking about what it all means on the deepest possible level is something that I think about mostly, you know, besides the art and making a great tattoo. For me, I feel like it's been a spiritual journey. I've learned more about myself as happening to be a tattooer and do this service for others. It's what do you have feelings around? Do you have a spiritual belief? You have a philosophy you live by, or do you believe in God? Do you wonder if we're in a? I think we're in a simulation. That's my new one. I think.
Yeah, I'm well into conspiracy, all that shit. I watch way too much of it. I could put it like this: I grew up in a house with a lot of faith and no doctrines.
Okay.
Which is a weird middle of the road thing where do good and
Eastern faith.
Well, it's just. I've never believed in God per se. I don't worry myself about an afterlife. I'm very skeptical of all stuff that I can't actually get my hands on. So they're wonderful ideas and I love listening to them all, but I don't really buy into much. I guess I think when I'm dead and that's it. You know, I'm fine with that.
You are.
We're all stardust, and we're the only fucking monkey or only animal on this planet that even worries about future, present, and past.
Yeah.
We preoccupy ourselves with. I heard a funny thing about Buddhism, a joke, but it was like the Buddha said, "Don't worry about the past; you can't change it. Don't worry about the future; you can't affect it." And don't worry about the present, I didn't get you one. but you know, the thing about here and now, and this is the only real thing for me. Because I'm interactive with it, and I can touch, see, feel, and play with it, and try and get along with it. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff in my life on the off chance that when I die, I go to a better place or a worse place. That to me is just too much of a human idea. Like a sales pitch, you know?
Yeah.
To what end?
Yeah.
I do watch a lot of things on religion, and I love debates, and I love the flat earth group, and it's all I can't get enough of all these crazy ideas that float around, right?
Yeah.
That people truly buy into.
Conspiracy theories are a blast.
Oh my God, they're great. You know, they're great.
Flat Earth is one of the best.
But they're just ideas. I don't know why people go to war over this and want to kill somebody else that doesn't, believe in their God or something like that. Oh, yeah. It seems really nuts.
Back to the whole idea of I agree. I mean, I think I spend most of my time trying to be in the now. This is the only reality that actually exists. It's happening right now. And what I loved about art as a kid was that that would put me in the now. I didn't know I was doing it at the time, but
meditation. Yeah.
You start drawing, and then you're just here. And that's the beauty of tattooing.
And when it goes well, hours go by.
Hours. Didn't think about that, didn't go backwards, didn't worry, no concerns. It's like, I guess, a meditation. You're in a meditative state.
If people only knew that when we're deep in a tattoo thing, we were like miles away. We're on holiday, actually. Our mind is like on a beach somewhere. It's like, I liken tattooing to like driving a car.
Right. You just kind of
you're there, but you're free as well. Your mind wanders,
Yes.
And sometimes you come back and check on yourself to see how you're doing, and then you fuck off again and go somewhere else.
No, it's a form of meditation. I think it saved my life. Without tattooing and art or whatever, I think I was the type that thought too much, worried too much, and I would have spun out of control. So when I'm really having a hard time in life, I crave the tattoo shop. I crave to just focus on some art and let it all behind, let it go. It's a gift in that way. Yeah, for sure.
It has been a rock for me, and it's given me the option to live an amazing life. Maybe I'm just ignorantly happier. I don't seem to suffer too much.
Ignorance is bliss, they say.
I wanted that tattoo, the one of the guy's head with the empty symbol on it. I was tempted to get it, and it said bliss, and the brain is like empty, because it's true, right? What's the point of worrying about shit you can't fucking change or control? And there's just no point.
No, there isn't. There is not. Well, tattooing, it's just changed so much, okay? In the last...
Why hasn't?
What hasn't?
Changed so much.
Why?
No, what hasn't since we've been alive?
Well...
I remember the world without internet.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean? You remember going out and playing all day and have a fucking, ride your bike and build a tree house and go fight with the guy next door or something?
Yes.
It was very different to today. Yes. Where you see the kids going around, and I'm hooked, so I can't bitch. I fucking take the phone to the toilet. I actually look at the phone before I kiss teeth and go hello in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm so tuned into this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's endlessly interesting. It's an endless access to the world.
Yeah, but do you ever... I mean, sometimes I do it too, but sometimes I do it and I feel like, how do I feel when I'm done? And I feel shitty.
All right.
I feel more shitty than I do.
I refuse to feel guilty for the way I want to waste my life. It's my life to waste. Why should I feel guilty if I had a good time on the couch all day watching Indian mechanics fix a bus?
That wouldn't make me feel shitty. That's educational. But sometimes I get
educational. RuPaul's Drag Race, Love Island, what's it matter? You know what I mean? You're just studying people. I've loved watching people my whole life. With people, you got to be a people person to be in a tattooing.
True.
You can't. An antisocial guy is going to have a hard time.
There's some of those.
Yeah, I know, but they really suffer for it because you got to be into people.
Yeah.
And so watching anything is.
I like what you said there. I'm going to feel a little less guilty now.
Why should you know? Who's judging us?
Me? I'm
you know,
judging me.
They say you waste your life. So if you sit under a fucking tree in a lotus position like Siddhartha doing fuck all and letting vines grow all over you, is that a good lifespan? He did nothing. He sat under a tree meditating all the time. What's the difference?
Yeah.
If you're happy.
I love that. Might as well just be on Instagram checking out
fucking right.
fat girls' asses.
There is satisfaction in creation in the sense of it's not so much the making as I've done and you feel good about having put something out, done something. It's, I feel good. If I build a shelf at home, if I finally get, sort out my screws in the garage, if I, do things. There's a certain feeling of accomplishment, rake the yard, or make a painting, finish a project. I do get off on that I've always felt like, I did something, it's good.
And I guess that's the guilt, because when I get down and I accidentally am there for an hour, I think about I could have put a shelf up. And I'm like,
woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right?
Yeah.
All of those things, the idea that I wanted to lie on my deathbed and not regret anything, I've come to realize is ridiculous. Of course you're going to regret something. Like, oh God, I could have done that,
Yeah, no, that's true.
Well-being is, I don't know, following your desires, as long as you don't fuck up everything else. If you want to lie on the couch and go down the rabbit hole of Instagram for an afternoon and you feel relaxed and you've rested your body and you filled your head with all kinds of weird shit you can think about when you're working the next day, it's fine. What's wrong with that?
I agree, and you're making a great point. What do you think, though, as this evolves so rapidly, not just social media, but now there's quantum computing and now AI generated everything. I mean, fuck, they're going to be able to hit a button soon and make a movie, probably a good movie.
I think they already do.
And yeah,
you know what I mean.
And
you don't even know it,
right? Like, so that's in 5 years. I think about 20. Like,
it's exponential. This growth. It's going faster.
Where are we going here?
Did you see the Boston Dynamics robot now that they have attached to a bike and it can bunny hop onto the table?
I did see that, yes.
Oh, I love that shit.
That's cool.
That is so out there. What we've been able to build as a race of beings and what we can make, that's the pinnacle, like the high end for me.
It's going to get crazier.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever take our jobs. Maybe. It's possible.
I don't believe in the Matrix kind of thing. I tattooed some dude who's into robotics. He works on, in Zurich and something. And we had a great talk. And I think it's so human. First, we project ourselves all over everything. Gods are human. Gods are human. The whole thing. Animals are fucking everything we put human on. And now we're going to put all this human shit on a machine. What would a robot want to dominate us for? What motivation? He doesn't have jealousy, reproductive drive. He doesn't worry about wealth. He's just a fucking bunch of circuits. Why would he become evil and turn into Skynet?
Well, but what you're so the argument though is this.
We're talking about self-aware machines again, right?
If that can happen, or maybe it cannot happen.
2027, some guy was talking about being like the singularity. I'm glad I'll be around. I hope it is.
Yeah.
Why would he though be a cunt? Why wouldn't he just be a Buddha? Well, infinitely smarter than anything alive, with access to every bit of information that's ever happened. Why don't you just look at us and go, you guys are fucking up, chill out, stop. We can sort this out. Look, you're doing it all wrong.
Something that smart, I think you're right. It's more likely it would be like that. Something that, intelligent, omnipotent would be kind, I would think.
Why not? Because war is useless. It serves no purpose. It's always based upon acquisition of wealth and land to perpetuate my DNA. We're just DNA carriers, right? DNA wants to carry on, so this is our thing. I love that concept of us being a virus with shoes from the Matrix. I thought it was brilliant. Just human batteries in the future.
I think it was, Timothy Leary, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Timothy Leary's thing was that the only intelligent thing in our body is the DNA, and we are just the puppet of it. And the reason we can't stop inventing things, humans can't seem to stop building shit, is because the whole goal for the DNA is to get off Earth and keep on moving out into wherever else. So we're just here doing its work.
Yeah. Well, the get off the planet thing, that was his extra little thingy. But he's right in the sense of I believe it. We are programmed to reproduce so DNA can carry on.
It makes a lot of
There's the purpose
sense.
of life. I mean, it's no deeper than that. And everything else is the trimmings and reasons we come up with to, make it all make sense.
I had a DMT trip once where that was the kind of the message I was told, and I was. Have you ever done that stuff? Yeah. You have. Very unique drug, or drug, whatever people say. It's not a drug. It's something else. I don't know what they call it, but
it's the closest I ever came to a religious experience, I think.
What was it like for you? Because I love the stories. Because it seems like all of us are seeing a similar thing as occurring.
It's the ultimate here and now for me, in the sense of being in the center of a universe. There are no words in some ways. It's an onslaught of ideas that takes months, even years, to really understand.
Mm-hmm. Probably
revelations.
Mm-hmm. So you were communicating with something was talking.
I listened to too much of fucking, what was his name, the dude in Hawaii?
Terrence
McKenna.
Oh, Terrence McKenna.
And I listened to him loads, and so I had expectations that I didn't fulfill. I wanted to meet little fucking, squeaky elves, but they never showed up. That's all right.
Yeah.
I got what I needed, I suppose.
The elves almost never show up on the DMT. The elves show up with the fucking mushrooms. I don't know why these two realms are separated, but...
Yeah, dosage, it's got to be dosage. But no, I saw it really as a mirror to where you're at. How you're doing, how you feel. I dealt with tattooing on it. That question did arise of, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? Should I be doing it? I came to the conclusion that as long as I'm trying to keep myself in a good state, happy, and I try my best, you can't do any more than that. That's all I can do. I mean, it's so weird. Look at art or dragons. You practice dragons, you get to a point, to a really great dragon. Where the fuck you go from there? Right? Do you maintain that level of great dragon forever? Are you going to dip down sometimes? Can you keep going back up? You reach these, not limitations, but plateaus of being where, and so if things move like this through life, I think understanding yourself, how I feel about my body, my mind, my relations, my work, my happiness.
I had a bit of a different experience, and that's why I think they were in a simulation, because I felt like I was in a cathedral made of light.
Oh, I got that. It starts out on the eyebrows very close, the mandalas, the movements. Every time you breathe, they go, and then suddenly you go, and you're in the big space.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck up on the wall, looking down, and unbelievable, breathtaking, indescribable. Felt very emotional and personal, and like I wasn't alone, and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Did it feel familiar?
Yeah.
That was the weirdest part for me.
You sound like a raving lunatic after, because you just keep talking to people about it. You can't shut the fuck up, and they're looking at you like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I drove people crazy. Yeah. I started a fucking mini cult. There was a day at my tattoo shop where we had like our 15th fucking DMT sessions, and I'm suddenly the leader of this thing, and people are texting me in the middle of the night having hey Aaron, I need to talk to you right now. I think I know something. I think I know. And eventually my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I was just so excited. And now, it's fun talking with you about it, but I rarely bring it up because I do think...
No, it takes time to truly come to terms with what happened to you.
Yes.
It's like a freeway full of thoughts and ideas and emotions. And in the experience, if you try and stop one and analyze it, it's like backlog. So you just let it flow through you. And then over time, you pop up, oh, I get it. Oh, wow, that was click, click, click.
One thing that was really clear to me, though, that on all of my trips, if I felt scared, everything got less organized, and it would increase in intensity. And then if I would relax and feel more of a loving, everything would get back into order and be...
It applies to life in general,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's that lesson. If there was a lesson there, that's the lesson, right? It's a flipping out about shit you can't control. Yeah. Looking at people in cars going behind the wheel, and you think like, just chill out.
Yeah.
Somebody once told me, never get upset. There's very few places in life where you are alone. It's your time. It's the toilet and behind the wheel. So you're behind the wheel, chill. You're in a traffic jam, put some music on, wait, you know. You
I
haven't
do
got
that.
anything
I'm
to
good
do.
at that.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah. I chill.
You see the other ones frothing at the mouth, fucking losing their minds, trying to get in front of each other. And
Yeah, no, I will
So-
never do that. Never. Plus, I've got my podcasts on, and it's my time.
it's your time, yeah.
Oh, look, it's going to be an hour and a half to get home. Perfect. Fucking,
It's your time.
yeah. That's fucking beautiful. That's cool. You tried that. You saw the say, yeah. I like that. There's something to be taught
I
there.
read this book by Hoffman. Right?
I don't know if this.
This was the guy who discovered LSD.
Oh, right. He's the one that found the mold on the bread. And
That's the guy,
yeah.
And he did a massive dose once a year till the end of his life.
Yeah, he was doing massive, like
Massive dose.
the equivalent of like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
Hits
And he
of
did
them.
it every year to the end of his life, and he's a scientist. And he wrote a book called LSD, My Problem Child. And he was really disappointed in the way that young people used it. He thought it wasn't a toy. It wasn't a party drug to do every weekend. You do it once a year, and it was like a mirror to look at yourself and check, see where you're at. And
I agree. It
It
should be
should
used.
be treated with respect, and it should be.
Oh. So one day I decided to disrespect the DMT. So
You'll learn, right?
I've never had a bad trip my whole life. None of my trips on all the different hallucinogenics. And this particular night, I had a few whiskeys. I had music playing. I got cocky, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do this. And boy, oh boy, that thing showed up, and it turned everything into plastic. It turned me into plastic. I thought my fucking brain snapped, and I was gonna be stuck there forever. I started panicking. I ran upstairs. I woke my wife up to see if she was plastic. But the lesson at the end was what you're talking about, which is it was saying, "What do you do not come here like this?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was.
I quit tobacco after 44 years now. It's been a couple of years. That was a hard one to walk away from.
I'll bet.
And it's weird. I mean, the addiction voice won't go away.
It's always going to be
I
there.
finished my coffee, my voice went, Siggy. I have a meal, my wife goes, Siggy? Yeah, you stop at that too, Siggy? It goes all the time.
You ever tried the Zens, the little Zens that people are doing nowadays?
I tried that vape for a couple of weeks.
No, you don't
What
want to
am
do the
I
vapes.
doing? This thing is, I either smoke or I don't smoke. But in Paris last year at the convention, I had a bit of wine at dinner and thought I'd go out and have a quick puff with everybody else. I kind of broke down. I went out there. It was horrendous. I coughed my lungs out. It burned my throat. I felt like I'd licked an ashtray. I almost puked on the sidewalk. It really was no good. And the next morning after breakfast, my little voice went, see? And I think it'll do it for the rest of my life. I'll never be able to get away from that impulse, you know?
Right.
Of something that I truly enjoyed smoking. I quit because I was afraid of killing myself. Not because I didn't enjoy it.
Well, they say nicotine's good for you, you know. Have you read any of that studies? They're finding nicotine, they think, might contain a molecule that's going to cure. It's really good for brain health, Alzheimer's, dementia specifically. One of the reasons I do the Zens is because of these studies and how they've done these brain scans. They give people the nicotine, new synapses start to develop, and new growth, pathways in the brain start to open back up. It's probably, you'll notice a lot of creatives, writers, painters, tattooers.
Everybody's using it.
Because it's not just the act of smoking, but it stimulates you. There's a stimulant in there. It's the only drug that stimulates you and relaxes you simultaneously. No other drug they've ever discovered can do that. Very unique.
And I have no idea about that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you should get back on the.
Yeah, shit. We're gonna go back on the.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Addiction. Yeah, that's a whole other one. That's a whole other.
And are we all a little autistic or a little addictive in the sense to be a good tattooer? What does it take to sit on your butt and make tiny little circles for hours on end while your friends are playing outside in the sun? What turned us into this kind of profession. There's a room full of people doing it out there, and I walk by and it does take a certain mindset to be able to, first, to break skin and draw blood. That's not for everybody. Two, feel confident enough to actually do this to another human being. Like, yeah, of course I can, what the hell, watch me, and then to stick with it. I've seen a lot of people start and bail and go, I can't do this, This is too stressful for me.
I guess for each person would have to answer that question. I'm thinking about myself right now and being honest enough to admit a lot of it, I think, is my ego. I think it's my identity. And I think I want to be loved and appreciated and respected. And so tattooing gets me that more than anything else.
If you compare us to musicians, we're all lead singers and lead guitarists. There's not a lot of drummers or bass players in tattooing, since we're all up front, right? We're out there.
Yep.
You know, we don't want to be too far back.
Yes, that's true.
Ego, all of these things are true.
But I feel that's starting to slip away. It feels like that's not as important as it was, for sure not as important as it was the first 20 years. But I'm hoping to let go of it completely, because I guess if it ends one day, I don't want to have some kind of fucking crisis when I can't have that. If that's the only place you're getting your love and your attention, and it goes away, you're in a tough spot, you know. So I'm trying to detach, and then it becomes more, for me at least, about back to the meditation thing. It's a very relaxing, fulfilling place to be, that gets me out of the noise of this world.
Well, I never had a different job.
I've had a couple, but
yeah, you know, I didn't choose tattooing. You did. It kind of fell on me. Actually, when my dad started, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. Why the fuck would you do that? I was a little kid, I'm like, fucking what tattooing was this shit, you know? I didn't get it. And so it kind of crept up on me, and I accepted it in my life. You actively sought it out.
Yes.
Like just about everybody in that room, except for a couple of second generation guys who fell into it. You know, Hiroshi's son, Amy Cornwell, and I met a few, you know, that second gen, but it's a very different thing. You decided, I've tried a few things and now I want to do this.
you know,
I can't see myself doing anything else.
I can't now anymore. But at the time, it was just, how do I be an artist and pay my rent? I mean, it was that simple.
That's the flip side too. It's like, I do tattoo, and it's not a popular thing. You just said it, and I agree with it. I tattoo to survive. It's the way I make money to live. That's my motivation.
And so I don't have to do those other jobs out there. I don't want to do those
If
things.
you have a multi-millionaire, would you still tattoo? Right?
You just asked me this one.
Well, it's an interesting question. Maybe after 33 years, you'd want to keep your finger, but you do an occasional tattoo that really interested you. But I'm sure you did lots of other things you'd like to do.
Yeah.
Right. So if you take the money survival away from us, I guess maybe you want to make a 20-foot metal dragon in your garden. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to build a race car. Maybe there's all these things that we dream of doing that we can't because we can't afford it.
Yep.
Or maybe you'd like to take 6 months off, but you can't afford it.
I would still make things. I actually have some things I want to make.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean?
And if money, you know, but it would be artistic. But I want to carve wood, and I want to make these puppeteering fucking things where the art moves inside of it, like a pic. You know, I have dreams. I would probably do that. And but I would probably tattoo once in a while. But yeah, you're right.
No, back to it's a survival thing for us. Like you said, a way you can do the thing you like and make money.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's an honorable fucking profession. I don't feel like it should be that you can't say it, that you're like, oh no, I'm only in tattooing for the art and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I am, but that's secondary. The fact that I truly love and I'm like obsessive about what I do makes me fortunate.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being stuck in a job you don't like?
No.
Right?
Well,
It would be very hard. I can't conceive of spending my life like that.
I'd do it. You know, I got kids. I would do what I needed to do to protect and serve for my family. But
The
God, I
discussion
don't
I was having yesterday, I was 14 when I chose not to have kids. I thought about it and I was like, yeah, no. I'm the oldest of four. I've done my bit of parenting. And I just was like, I'm not afraid of being alone when I die, because I figure you're alone anyway. If you're surrounded by your family as you croak, or you're surrounded by a few nurses, or maybe a robot, you're still you doing the dying.
Yeah. Everyone dies alone.
Yeah. Right?
Very true. Very true.
But
Fuck, man. Well,
my dad took me when I was about 9 to Benares, just me and him. Varanasi on the Ganges in India. He was a jeweler at the time before tattooing. And he'd gone out to buy silver, just me and him. It was this big trip, me and my dad. You know, we were living in England, I think, at the time. And he was a really tall guy, and he'd walk really fast. And I called onto his coat not to get lost in these marketplaces, and I was hungry. And he didn't tell me where we were going, and I started smelling barbecue. And I was salivating, and then we came upon the river where they burn all the dead bodies. It smelled really good. It's so weird.
that's what you were smelling?
Yeah. It smelled like fucking a fryer bacon or something with sandalwood as a back smell. And spent the rest of the afternoon watching human bodies burn. It's so weird, like they sit up at one point when all the tendons retract and
start erecting.
They actually go in a fetal position, and the guys have to come out and smash the spines with a stick to make them lie flat again and cave the skulls in. And this was 78. It was dogs fighting over femurs and hip basins like human bones. And now they've cleaned up, I've heard, and they don't do it so open. But that was a real life changer for me. I walked out of that afternoon like, oh my God, I'm a meat puppet, I'm a meat bag, you know? Like, wow, this is not permanent. And that's what got me motivated to try and like start tattooing, do something, and start as soon as possible to, you know, find a way to look after myself and generate. It really was a life-changing thing.
Well, the Buddhists say you should think, well, they'll say meditate on, but you should think about your death daily, you know, really acknowledging it. Like,
yeah, I agree, because it's inevitable, it's coming.
Yep.
And not that it ruins you here and now, but that you're aware that you're not going to be around forever.
Oh, it makes life better. My wife hates it when I say it. I'm always saying it. I'm like, hey, everybody raise your glass. We're all going to die. And she's like, you fucking shut up. Don't say that. And I'm like,
but it's true.
I'm trying to lift everybody up right now. I'm trying to make a good vibe. I think that's something that makes life rad. We're all going to die. And we're not dead right now. Isn't this awesome?
But it kind of counteracts these problems that raise their heads and look really important. And suddenly you realize, like in the face of death, very few things are important. Whenever a family member has passed away or a close friend, I'm always thinking about my own death, looking at them, you know. It brings that home again. It's like, oh man, I'm 2/3 of the way through this fucking thing, you know. It gets closer and closer. And
yeah, you think about it more and more the older you get. I think about it more than I used to, that's for sure, you know. But and it just forces you back to what we were talking about earlier. This is all we got. This is the moment. I like your attitude. It seems like you've really got that one figured out. You don't seem to worry too much about tomorrow or yesterday. That's a very good place to be.
I do sit my ass down and work and so that's taking care of my future. You know, I don't play the cricket too long. I am a field mouse that does, you know, prepare for winter, so to speak.
What do you mean, prepare for?
Before my folks got into tattooing, we were fucking broke. I mean, I can remember living out of a van, and my dad didn't want to work for nobody, and he'd rather eat brown rice and, you know, and I had like 2 t-shirts and a pair of pants and a wellies, and it was bare bones lifestyle. They chose to do the trip. And I got no complaints. But I remember money worries when I was little, and I remember what that was like. And tattooing came along, and suddenly we had enough money not to have to worry. And that stuck with me. I don't want to go and fucking squander all my bread and don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. I just don't dig it, and I don't want to put myself in that position. So I will take some steps to make sure that my work continues and I concentrate. But I don't worry, per se. That's why I keep busy. I think when I'm all alone and I try and meditate, that's when everything goes all wrong. Because then these worries start to pop up. Yeah, but what if this happens? You know, there's no point. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Get involved, do something.
Get up
keep
and
yourself moving. Yeah.
Go on Instagram for a couple hours.
Whatever it may be. Really, whatever it may be. It's.
I'm just busting your balls because that's true. It's true. Stay busy. Yeah, I don't do very well. I'll work my ass off to have a vacation. I'll get to the spot for the vacation. I'll get to the bitchin' hotel room with the perfect view. I sit down, I pour a glass of wine, and then I'm like, I've made it, I'm here. And suddenly none of it mattered. Or like, what do we do now? You know, I can't make a tattoo today. I didn't bring my iPad. Like, what do we do? You know, I don't know, just drink and walk around. You know, it's just an interesting thing. You're fighting, some of us fighting so hard to get to the place where you don't have to do anymore. And then you get there and then...
you don't know what to do with it, yeah.
Yeah. It's a tricky one.
I got to spend a little bit of time with Paul Rogers when I was young. I went out for a couple of weeks in 86, and then in 87 I stayed with him in his trailer.
Cool.
I built a bunch of machines with him, and he was great. He was in his early 80s, and he's slept like 6 or 7 hours a night. he built machines all day long. He talked about titties, tattoos, and tattoo history, you know what I mean, and time in the circus. And I really enjoyed my time with him, and he was such a happy guy. His wife had died a few years before. He was on his own after a long life together, 50 years plus. And he was upbeat, happy. And I always wanted to be like him. I was like, when I'm old, I want to be like that guy, you know? He was generous and open, and yeah, he was just, there wasn't an anger in him. I didn't feel, and he never heard him bitch about anything. I never heard him complain. Because it's a hard industry, and I start to understand why some old tattooers get grumpy. We're asked to do a lot. Hardy said something I liked once about being an artist and a tattooer, that we're forced to create on demand in public with a time limit. It's a performance art tattooing. You're never alone, and it's a very difficult thing. We have to be very disciplined. We can't sit around going, oh, I don't want to work now. You know, like we don't get to do it on our time. We do it, we've got an appointment, we got to work. Guy's watching everything you do, and he's going to start bitching after a minute, so you got to keep it going. And it's very not conducive to free creation. It doesn't give you that chance to sit back and, you know, painting now.
Yeah, I'll take a break because I can. No, it's
so it's stressful. That stresses, and even if the guy's not screaming in your face about how much you're hurting him, you know you're hurting him. You got enough tattoos to know what you're doing to him, so you've got to block that as well. Not take that on board. There's a lot that we don't. I think like the dangers of tattooing are maybe bypassed a little bit in all this promotion of tattooing. It's swimming in people's bodily fluids. It's fucking disgusting. It's super dangerous.
Yeah.
You're dealing with blood, right?
It fucking aerosols.
Aerosols.
That's something I was taught.
Up to 20 centimeters.
So you're breathing
a cloud of this shit in, yeah.
That's interesting.
And then there's the psychic strain it takes off you, where it really taxes us. And so we become right bastards to argue with, because we're very good at compartmentalizing. We're super good at ignoring the evident fact. You know, you ignore the fact you're hurting the guy, and you're actually enjoying your work and trying to, you know, invent something and be a bit creative. All the while you're torturing another fucking human being. It's so, it's these two things at once that are like
very, very surreal, very strange.
Yeah, and it takes its toll.
Yeah, they're big. You know this, but that energy exchange. I mean, there's such a difference between sitting with a client who seems to be staying in a very good place and somehow finding that center fluid, and then the guy that fights, and then when you walk away from that session, something's missing from me. Like I'm fucking done, man. It's like they're just sucking the energy. There's some kind of energy exchange going on, you know.
Yeah, and then the people that love us and are around us pay the price as well.
Oh yeah, I come home, my wife's like, "Why are you in such a bad mood?" I'm like, "I'm not in a bad mood.
You're dead.
I'm done. I can't even physically, because we touch, and then she'll want to come and sit by me on the couch after a big day of tattooing, and I'll be like, she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I just need to not be physically near anyone tonight.
Yeah,
the rest she's gotten used to it. It's been enough years.
No, but I totally understand.
Very interesting.
And people don't talk about this, and how it's really not as glamorous as they make it look on all the TV shows, and it's harder work than some people might think. If you want to be successful and you want to be true to the people you work on, because that, I believe in respect for the person you're working on. You know, you've got to give them your all. You've got to give them your best.
Yeah,
it really is. My biggest fear is somebody comes back and says, "You ruined my life. I hate it." That's one of my fears. You know.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know if it's happened or not, but they probably, if it did happen, they may not even tell you, you know, but hopefully
one or two times I've had some pretty bad things.
Yeah.
A bunch of years ago, I had a foreign legionary, massive guy. I mean, he was fucking ginormous, solid bone from the neck up, and flipped out on me for no good reason. My brother-in-law had been working on him, and it didn't go well, so I took over and I did a bit, tried to save the day. He went south. He got difficult. I got lippy because he was solid bone. I won the argument, and he just grabbed me by the throat, lifted me off the ground like this, outstretched arm, one arm, my feet that high off the ground. he had a thumb this big. It was like under my ear. I didn't know what to do, so I went, pretended I was dead. And he kind of went and dropped me then and then left the shop. But it was fucking terrifying, you know what I mean? The strength in this guy.
Holy shit.
You know, okay.
I like that your instincts told you to do the right thing.
Like a little puppy. I couldn't win. You
weren't going to win the fight.
No. I shouldn't even have lipped off to him, you know, because I was able to talk circles around him.
Yeah.
Because he was slow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would expect that.
Wow, big mistake.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had too many like psychos.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I could probably, if I thought, well, I had some psychos, or the guys that taught me how to tattoo. Those are my yeah, I'm so jealous of you and Henning, and I've had so many interviews with so many tattooers, and I thought everybody was having a psychopath apprenticeship, and I know they happened, but so many people didn't, and I don't know why the gods of tattooing decided to torture me for 3 years.
You got the hazing, you got that whole part.
Oh my God. It kept me away from these places for many years, because I left that going, basically, fuck any of those old tattooers. They're all fucking pricks. I don't want to know them. I don't want to learn from them. Fuck them all. And then, of course, over the years, I realized there's all these other folks out there that are wonderful. But I hold up. I secluded myself from the industry, basically. I'll create my own world. I don't need these guys anymore. So
I remember I talked to Paul Rogers about his apprenticeship and how it was hard, and he was trying to explain me how different the world was back then, and how a lot of the people that did come to tattooing couldn't fit anywhere else, and they were kind of nut jobs anyway, and rough around the edges. Yeah. And part of the hazing apprenticeship was to break them down to build them back up, like in the army. So put them right down to the bottom, get them cleaning toilets and work their way up so they learn respect. Yeah. And they learn all things, right? Which is not necessary anymore in many ways, because back then, a very sensitive art student would never have made it.
Right.
He couldn't survive that environment. Mm-hmm.
True.
You know, and now, since they don't have to go through that, a lot of very talented but very sensitive souls have come into the profession.
Yeah.
Look at ladies in tattooing. When we started, it was fucking...
all men.
5% women, right?
Yeah.
Now it's at least 50-50 if there isn't more girls than boys.
I love it.
Which has brought a new aesthetic, a new approach, a new fucking front, a whole imagery. It's completely morphing, which is...
It changed my work environment. Half my shop is women now, and I love it. It's like... It's such a happier place to go. It's just different, and that's awesome. But to be clear, the thing I'm talking about wasn't clean the toilet and break me down.
You like shit.
No, they were just fucking flat gangsters. Fucking, like, you're gonna take that gun. You're gonna come with me. I gotta buy some shit. If you don't, pulling knives on me and fucking, you do that again, I'll fucking cut your throat, and just nasty things, And I just thought that's what the old timers all were. I didn't know, because I didn't meet any that weren't at that time. Right. So. But, that's...
I was lucky I didn't have to...
Yes.
I didn't have to go through any of that. I mean, having your father as your teacher is difficult too, because you got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
If there's somebody who knows you inside out, it's your old man, right? Yeah. So, we had our run-ins as well, learning is painful.
Yeah, yeah.
And certain aspects of it are not going to, go your way. One of my first big ones, I was 15 going on 16, and I went to work at the Amsterdam convention. I think it was the 84 edition. And I had a lot of smoke blown up my ass about being little boy wonder, and I was the youngest guy on the block, and so I kind of strutted in there. First day I had to work up next to Ed Hardy, Bob Roberts, Ian Redding, this list of fucking... I went back and cried in the hotel that night, told my mum I couldn't go back the next day because I realized how shit I was. Going in the next day was harder than anything I'd done up until that point, because I really knew my place all of a sudden. I'd been taking down a whole bunch of pegs.
Got humbled.
Because I had to go in there and really put my ass on the line and try to get back in there. It was tough, It was very tough.
We all need a little humbling. That's true. Hell, I got humbled yesterday with the tattoo that I did trying a new stencil product, and I thought I almost fucking lost control of the project. That hasn't happened to me in so long.
Is that stencil stuff? Because I still use
This is Stand Still. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's pretty cool and interesting. They're printing the design on this biodegradable. It looks like
the one you tattoo through.
through. Yes.
So doesn't the ink get underneath it and blur it all out?
No. The thing that got me off guard is I do larger work, and you know, when I was a young tattooer, I would let the needle be way out. I'd work off the point very accurately.
Float line.
Floating. Yeah. And now I don't. I get the depth I want. I usually put it right onto the skin.
I've always worked like that too.
Well, you can move faster, and it steadies you up a lot.
Absolutely.
Well, this stuff, it dissolves with water. Well, ink is kind of mostly water. So if you put your tube down and a bunch of ink pools out, well, you're going to lose everything right there.
Oh, no shit.
So you got to work off your point,
right?
And you got to have just the right amount of ink flowing off that tip. And so I didn't think about this. So he's a friend of mine. You know, Phil's a friend of mine. He asks me to do this. I say, I'll do it at the show. It'll be fun. We'll give it a shot. And so I forget I haven't floated with my needle in 20 years. So I go to put this thing in there, and I'm fucking, I don't shake, I'm shaking. The design's complicated, and I was, oh man. And anyway, I scratched it in basically. I bloodlined most of it, got that shit off there, and then I was like, okay, time to save a tattoo now. And I went to tattoo rest. I just haven't had a moment like that in so long. And
when it goes all wrong, right? It's all pear-shaped, and suddenly you realize just what a fucked up job it is. So hard. That was humbling. That's interesting because I have seen that, but I haven't tried it. I tried that stencil stuff the other day. I'm doing it back, and I'm like, oh, because I use Dettol. What do you call it?
Dettol. For when you transfer Hexol.
Yeah,
that's what I use too.
So I think I'll try this stencil shit they got. It doesn't come off. Of course, I placed the back wrong. So now I'm trying to get the crap off. I'm hurting the fuck out of it because it wouldn't come off. But obviously, I didn't buy the stencil remover when the guy suggested I should try it. I don't need that. I'm fine. Like an idiot. And I found it really annoying that I couldn't get rid of my stencil. I couldn't see what I was doing.
It stuck too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah. It was just that little change fucked me over, right? You know, because I'm used to a stencil that stays a bit but goes away, so I can see the quality of what happened.
You can see the line you dropped and the purple shit finally goes away.
I wanted to buy a second stencil machine here. They don't even have the ones with the rollers on the floor anymore.
They don't? Oh.
It's all digital. I don't want one of those.
No, I have the old 3Ms. That's the only thing
that's what I want.
They're the best.
Yeah, they're the best.
But just back to that stuff, though, I'll tell you what's so super cool about it, because once it's on there, first of all, it's see-through. Okay, and so it's
easy to place.
Yeah, and then once you place it, and you don't like where it's at, you can peel it off and put it. You can do that as many times as you want.
Crazy.
You can just keep. You know, I think guys, like, you think about doing a mandala on a throat.
Yes, it's for a certain style of work.
If you had to, you know, because if you don't, how many
cover-ups as well.
Oh yeah,
wonderful for cover-up.
And then you can kind of stretch it a little. It's flexible. It's a good product. But I
was anti-iPad for years. I was like, iPad, never. You know, I had this whole. Now I fucking use it all the time. The last 3 years I've been in it. I'm sorry I don't have bits of paper around the house anymore because I did enjoy that aspect of drawing on tracing paper and stuff. But I see the merits of it.
Yeah.
I've suddenly realized that, wow, I could work right up to the end on a guy's project and suddenly go, you know what, that head needs to be a touch smaller and I can do it.
Yeah, you can just shrink it.
Maybe I want to flip that, you know, so the creative aspect of working on the design is all the way to the end, where when you do it on paper, it's linear. You get your sketch, you do your lines, you do your shading. You color it, then you want to change it. Now you got a problem. You got to cut bits of paper out, glue them on top. You've got to fuck with it, and you tend to not backtrack as much. And here I'm constantly going back and forwards right to the end. So I think the design profits.
Oh, it's amazing.
The final product is more fine-tuned.
Agreed. More efficient. I mean,
more efficient. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just all about efficiency. I've never had a romance for any kind of equipment. I don't collect tattoo machines. I'm just kind of
efficiency is a lazy man's solution.
I like that.
You know,
I guess I never thought of myself as a lazy man, but maybe.
Well, if you're efficient, you don't waste time. You don't have to fuck about. You know, you get it just right.
I just want anything that can make this happen quicker and faster.
Even though I'm not using the iPad in the sense of building a collage, tracing it, and putting it on people, I still treat it like paper.
Yeah, you're still drawing on it.
Right. Because I did see a mistake, something that really struck me. I think it was here last year, of a girl doing a thigh piece, and there was a Pocahontas head. Great realism, super well done. And she'd had to put a wolf hat on top. So she'd found this wolf head. And then we're looking at the piece and the face is going this way and the wolf head's going that way. And it was this perspective error. and I don't think she clocked it. Because she couldn't find the perfect angle of wolf head, so she found something that looked good enough, close enough, but it was off.
It was a little off, yeah.
Yeah, and I could tell because I could see the lines of the whole flow through and everything.
I mean, it's just like a hammer. A hammer could be used to build a house, or a hammer could be used to break a table or crash a window, right? It's a tool.
It's a tool.
And people are going to abuse it. I mean, it's going to be shitty, and others are going to, just use it as a more efficient way to draw.
So where is tattooing going with the ultra detail, with the ultra super saturated color sleeves that are just oil paintings on skin? We're moving through a phase here. Because in 33 years, you've seen the chrome come and go. You've seen the warped tattoo machine, warped everything come and go. You've seen the Celtic come and go. And you've seen the black work rise in popularity and die out, right? These are all phases that tattooing goes through.
Yep.
With the staples of tattooing continuing all along. The regular tattoo stuff never goes away, but there's all this, what is popular, the birth of dot work. It hit the scene. Boom. And now it's got its place, right? So what's the next one? That's what I wonder about.
I was going to ask you that, but you brought it up. Perfect. Well, I said it earlier. I think the decorative, the idea of just decorating a body with, whether it be a humongous black shape that goes along the rib and then comes down towards the belly button and a line next to that. And then, I think decorating is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm kind of stoked about it. I'm for it.
That each body becomes a standalone piece. Rather than become what I wear, which is the graffiti wall of memories, the one concept suit. I like that.
Yes, I think that for sure.
Did you see the artist over there that paints on women in the display?
Sengu.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he was in here.
Wonderful. The water suit. Wonderful. I was looking at it.
That's all digital.
I heard. You can't tell. He's clever as hell.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
But he's got that water suit there. I've been wanting to do that on somebody for years.
Yeah.
I like to do multiples. The rock suit, the wind suit, the water suit.
Yeah.
Let go of all these dragons and demons and skulls and samurais and all this shit.
Yes.
And let's just get into the beauty of decorating. And so, yes, I like that evolution. I
love it. It's beautiful. I myself have started to do some of that work in my way, but I think that's coming. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of stuff that neither of us are going to predict. These things show up. I'm curious to see what it is, because new shit's always showing up. The hyper-colored, dense, filled, I don't want to diss it. It's just that, like you said earlier, we don't give this stuff 10, 15 years and we'll see how much.
From painting, like you're using a red and you want to have a nice, gentle, kind of smoky, broken red. You look at the color wheel and you choose the opposite, which is green. And you put 5 drops of green in the red and suddenly it goes down in tone. It looks really good. Same with the other way, you can put a few drops of red in the green, but that one's not going to stay, right? Because the 3 drops of red in the green, once they've gone, you're left with just green again. These are the fucking massive changes that are going to happen to these pieces.
Yes, and that's why will that be the big popular thing in 10 years? I kind of think maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe it's a new form of tattooing. I will do this for you, but you'll need to come back in 10 years and redo the colors. Like you need to repaint the side of your house.
Which is fine.
If you want to wear that kind of work, this is the criteria to wear it, right?
If you want to look like that for the rest of your life, that's how it's going to get done, Yeah, we'll see on that one. But decorative tattooing for sure. I think that's going to be a big one. Yeah, that's going to be cool to watch. And then of course, I don't know how much we want to go into AI, but it's just how that's going to change the world.
In one way, it's helpful for somebody that can't draw. In the flip side, it'll make everybody that can't draw look alike, right? If they're all using the app.
Well, yeah, because the AI is just searching a bunch of people who created a bunch of art, putting that all together.
It'll be the same.
Yeah, homogenization.
Homogenization, yeah.
Yes.
But if it's a better level, because there was some god-awful tattooing when I started. And that's interesting that there are still very poor tattooers surviving today. They're out there.
Yeah.
They managed to, which is a testament to the power of wanting to be tattooed. You have the people who tattoo because they think it's aesthetically beautiful and then the ones who do it just for the the social statement. Those guys really don't care about the quality. They'll get the cheapie off for a guy down the corner, because it's all about having the ink. It's not about whether it's good or bad. They couldn't care less, really.
Yeah.
So there really are these two groups.
Yeah.
I mean, they cross over and they mingle. But there are some people that search out really beautiful. It's very important, the aesthetics, like jewelry or clothing, and they put a lot of time and research to getting something really beautiful. You see them here on the stage. Then you get the other ones who got arms like me. It's like fucking anything goes. Hey, it's like fucking what you do me for a $5.
Yeah, those two groups will always continue to exist.
Yeah.
They'll be around forever. But the AI thing is the homogenization that's going to occur with that is a troubling thought for me. But like you, I just think I'm not going to worry myself with this. It's sort of entertaining. I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie.
We are. It's great. It's really
very entertaining. If you don't get personal about it or emotional, it's like we're going to have a fucking crazy next 5 years.
Can't wait to see what's coming next. I really can't.
I can't either.
I'm talking about like AI. Do you know that most movies we watch today, the sunsets are all manufactured, the cityscapes are all manufactured. It's easier to do it on the computer than go location finding to get what wait for the right sun and the light. So it's already been tailored for us, right?
It's gonna get crazy, man. It's already a little crazy, but it's about to get fucking nuts.
I want to see machines move. It went handwork, rotary, coil. Now it's going back to rotary, trying to imitate a coil. I want it to go the other way. I dream of like maglev technology, magnets that carry trains at high speed with no moving parts, nothing touching. And I see this as a concept of a machine in the future where you'd have like a little plastic square that you hold with a tip and a needle bar that you'd attach to a weight that you'd put on top of it. It would like float there. And it would have a drive mechanism done with some different magnets. And why not? I want it to go that way, rather than going backwards. Because I actually tried, a Bishop 2 years ago now, and I was so pissed off it worked. I wanted it not to work because I had this idea that was what was making tattooing change with these tools. And I was blaming the tools. Suddenly I realized it's not the tools, it's the people using it, so I can't blame the tool because it actually works.
That's what I use, Bishop.
Everybody's using, they can't all be wrong. That's what I'm saying to myself. That's why I actually pick one up. I stay with the coils because I know them and I'm comfortable and I hate change,
Fair enough.
But I can still handle it. It doesn't hurt my wrist. I actually hurt my hand with the rotary, with the Bishop, and I realized the difference. The coil machine has this shock every time the needle bar hits the coils. So the coil machines, you just hold them and run them over the skin. With the Bishop, I had to push. And it hurt my tendons again. I hadn't had pain like that in years and years. Because it's this pushing motion. It doesn't have a whack behind it.
No, you're absolutely right. Because if you think of it in slow motion, a coil machine is kind of like the tip. It's like the tip of a whip.
Yep, exactly.
So the energy moves down the whip, and then at the end of the whip, it punctures.
Yes.
A rotary is like it's a tractor. It's going. It's just going. It's kind of like hand poke.
It is, but it's a completely different thing. How you don't have adjustment problems to go from the coils to the...
In the beginning a little bit, but I got, maybe a month or two. That was it. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with those is they're direct drive, and so the depth of your needle kind of matters a fucking lot. Like if you have a little give with a coil machine, and it'll give back a little.
That's what was the
These don't give back. You'll fucking blow a line out like on a shin bone or something, like, quickly.
I was running at around 8.
That's pretty high.
Well, I've been looking over people's shoulders 4, 6.
Yeah, 8's pretty high.
8's high, right? But I've seen a few guys doing 8.
If you're moving fast enough.
Yeah, I'm looking over them and I'm like, oh, 8,
Yeah, that's high.
I haven't seen above 8, but...
You don't need above 8, I don't think.
No, he gave me that silver-tipped metal tip that you can put on it, which gives it extra weight, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I use the plastic stuff.
That was so light. Teflon, or what is it, the other one?
I don't know, some kind of plastic. Yeah, super light.
What kind of needles do you like for that machine, if I could ask? They're all the same?
I mean, brand-wise, I use the Bishop needles. They make their own cartridges.
Bishop.
Yeah, I use all their stuff. Good stuff,
Because I'm walking around and I'm thinking, how much difference is really in these tools? Because they all look very similar.
I've been on that. They've been sponsored, so it's been 15 years, and I haven't even fucked around with it. I'm not a good guy for that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Kind of where I'm at now. But I think you're right. I mean, I have tried a couple. They do seem like they all work pretty damn good. And there's maybe one there's better out there. I don't know. But
how big will you go for a Magnum grouping?
I had that phase there for a while where I was moving up into the 45s and things like this, and I still might sometimes, but typically nowadays 27 is about as big as I like. I just can't seem to control them when they get too big. Like
we go 9 mag, 13 mag, 19, which I might drop out, 25, 35. And if you make your designs according to the needle, then it's great, because the 35 for a large area of shading is really comfortable.
Yeah.
Heals up really well.
Yeah.
Cuts the work time down a lot. But I had the 45 and all that. I quit. I tried and I realized, you see the 100+ Magnums, the guys that are doing the old black with these.
It's nuts, man.
It looks fun.
It does look fun. I've never played with that. Yeah, the 45s, it's like, the idea behind it was I have to do a wash, black, huge area. This is the thing to do it. But I could never get the smoothness I wanted at that size. And then 35 is a little better, but 27s.
25, 27, it's great.
Yeah, that's a perfect.
I asked, when I was in the States, I asked Hardy when I worked for him. He said, forget it. It was 7 mag at the time. You could go up to a big E, the 11. That was like, ooh. And I was like, why not more? And he says, it doesn't work. We tried it. I asked Bob Roberts. I asked Lyle Tuttle. I talked to Henry Goldfield, and I said to all these guys, why not? They said, it doesn't push the color in enough. Right? You can't get dark blacks. Not good. So I put it aside. But then I was looking at 38 needle Japanese by hand, or I was looking at Samoan fucking combs that are as wide as 3 fingers, So I went back to the drawing board in the early 2000s and worked with a local guy, tattooer who was also like a bike mechanic, made tubes. It took us 2.5 years of him, R&D, research development. He would build a tube for me and then I'd try it. It wasn't right, and we kept fucking with it until we got something I really liked. And then I met Richard Pinch. He does Good Luck Iron, this guy from Scotland. I tattooed his body. And he makes these tubes out of one piece now. And I asked him, he puts my name on it just for it literally got picked up by the whole industry. And within a year, people were trying to sell it to me in catalogs as a new thing. And I got ticked off. I was like, fuck's sake, I'm not getting recognition for something that affected my industry on a worldwide level.
Right.
And I was a little miffed, so I had him put my name on it just so people wouldn't forget. Because I'm really proud of that fact. It changed my work for the better. The large magnums helped me so much.
I didn't know that. So you were one of the first guys to have somebody make a tube that would hold it as big as 45 was as big as you were going? Yeah. Okay.
Right, and then I had to use it on people.
Dringenberg. Yeah, he was making my tubes for the 45s back then.
Because then it was 2000, Tattoo the Earth, I think, one of those shows where I went to the States and I did, we worked Chicago, we worked Oakland, we'd travel across America, and I was working with these needles and I allowed everybody to photograph them, the tubes, and machine builders, Dringenberg and other ones to measure and so they could make their own, because I wanted people to.
You wanted to share.
I tried to get Paul Booth to use it. He wouldn't. It was driving me nuts because it would be perfect for what he does.
I thought he did.
I tried to get Guy Etchison to use it, and maybe he uses it now. I don't know, but they prefer the smaller grouping. But it changed my tattooing night and day. Suddenly, I was able to do big things, and the more I use it, the more you become adept at going in corners. What do you think about rounded magnums?
Oh gosh, I love this one. I like them.
All right, why?
I just feel like, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just going to be packing something, I know I'm packing black or something, no, I don't need a rounded mag.
All right.
But when I'm working around and I want to blend out and shade, I just find I can, it's just easier. It just makes the job easier for me. Hernan Coretta, we and him argue about this all the time. He just says, I need to learn to tattoo better. You don't need that, Aaron. You're losing space on each end.
I agree with him in that sense because the rounded magnum comes from the Japanese tool.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, they would
round
when
the
they would
magnum.
wind them on the stick. They would make it
Round,
round.
round the ends of the magnum.
Well, that's
stuff like that.
crazy round. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little less. It's not as radical as this, but it is. It's curved, and the reason is they got one brush here that they have the ink on. Then they stretch. Then you come into work, so you've already got this whole thing. You've got that going. So now they can go from here to here, and forward a line, and back a line, and forward a line, and back. So they don't have to let go.
I see
so
what you're
that's
saying.
why they needed it rounded, so that they don't,
totally
have, to, they
different
don't have to
reason,
let go
right.
for a different reason, which we don't need with the machine because.
You don't need. I get that. Okay.
But a lot of people like them. I'm not saying they're no good.
So
but
you don't use them.
No.
Okay.
I actually very jealously enjoy the edge of my Magnum. I've gotten quite good at chiseling my way into little spots. Yeah. That it's like fun.
Oh well, it's quicker. You can get on that corner, and you can fucking a 45 mag. You could fill a little thing if you get on the corner of it. Yeah, no, that's true. But I do use a lot of it. But the rounded, at least the brand I use, it's just. It's like. It's just the subtlest. Or it's very subtle. It's not like.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I never found a need for it because if I want to be soft with my shading, I take a bit of water with the black, and there you go.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, back to the bigger mags though. Do you find it? Can you pack black with a 45?
Oh yeah, one time black as this.
Okay, that's the one that.
Can I draw on this just for a second?
Yeah.
Here's something that is a weird mistake I've seen people do. Where imagine that's a 9 Magnum tip, and you set up your depth. You say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to make it like that, stick out." And now you're supposed to do a 25 or 35, and somebody will stick it out like that. But if you bring them together and you put the big Magnum next to it, and the ratio of width to depth, if you repeat it by eye, you've gone way too deep. If you want to do the same depth as the 9, it looks too shallow on the big Magnum. It looks like it's not deep enough because you wouldn't do that with a 9.
Right, relation to the width.
In relation to the width, it's such an optical pitfall. So people will hang the big mags out too far, which will then make it bounce off the skin because it's too deep, which will fuck up the ink flow and make the whole thing maybe even chew up the skin a bit.
Interesting, yeah. I know what you're saying because I look at depth and the depth's the depth. I thought you were about to tell me with your 45s you have to put them out further. I was like, no, really? No.
I will do more than that. If I'm on a buttock, I will put it out where if you would need 1.5 millimeters to work with your lines, I will put it out 6 or I will go a certain depth. Because I know that there's a little bit of skin that goes away with it because it's such a large surface.
More resistance.
Yeah,
so
it's the optical illusion of how you can.
Right. Interesting. Very cool.
No, but I can get solid black in one go, and that is one of the things that I still get pleasure from.
Just packing that black.
When you get ink under the skin, one go, perfect. It gives me pleasure. It's so stupid. Oh, yeah. It's such a little thing.
When it works.
Yeah,
because it doesn't always work.
I still get off on it, yeah.
Yeah, when you have that moment, you're like, I don't know why, but every time I wipe, I don't have to go back. That's fucking done.
I get off on it.
Yeah, we all get off on that because we've all had too many hours where it wasn't working. You're like, thank God it's working today. Today's a good day.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, my friend, thank you so much for sharing your experience, your love for tattooing, and of course, everything you've done to inspire me personally. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I don't know. I'll be hanging around. I'll come by and say hello before the weekend is over. And,
all right.
I would love to come visit you sometime.
You're more than welcome.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Fly to Geneva. It's the closest airport.
I've been there. I've been to Lausanne.
I moved out. I'm up a mountain now.
Out of town there.
I went from Lausanne, which was 130,000 people. Then I went to Saint Croix, which was 4,500 people. And now I've moved to Bullet, which is 750 people.
My God, you'll be in a cave soon.
But it's easily enough. You can rent a car or something and be free.
Okay.
Switzerland's not big.
All right. Well, I'll email Loretta. Okay. We'll figure that out later. But
yeah.
Is this the WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I got your number. Oh boy. Well, thank you again. Good luck out there.